Professor in the Department of Political Sciences at the University of South Africa, Professor Dirk Kotzé, joins us now for more analysis of this matter. Prof, it's always a great pleasure having you join us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Well, Prof, just how significant, is it that Dada Morero survived the motion of no confidence while Council Speaker Nobuhle Mthembu, on the other hand, was removed? I mean, should you read much into it? And what does this mixed outcome suggest about the current power dynamics within the Johannesburg Council?
Yes, there's at least three elements I think that we can read from this or gather from this. The first one is that the ANC still has a clear majority. It's able to mobilize enough support around them. Secondly, that the Action SA was the big loser, I would say, in this situation. The fact that they stayed out of it, they were not supporting the ANC when it comes to the mayor. And that backfired, and that is why they lost their own a member as Speaker of the Council. When it came to the Chief Whip, there the different parties, all, including the DA, united with the ANC in order to continue with the Chief Whip was from the ANC. So what it means is that it's clear that the DA does not have any other support really in the council except maybe the Freedom Front Plus, that the ANC can continue on its own even without Action SA. And I think that Action SA burned their bridges today, the way in which they stayed out and not support the ANC when it came to the mayor.
And now, Mayor Dada Morero is now claiming that the Democratic Alliance was actually engaged in an electioneering ploy, as he puts it, and failed to prepare adequately. So what's your assessment of the DA strategy and political preparation for this motion?
It's difficult to really work out what was the DA strategy. I mean, on the one hand, objectively speaking, there are problems in Johannesburg, and the ANC will acknowledge that. The President Ramaphosa went not so long ago and told the government of Johannesburg they must act together, especially in view of the G20 meetings that are taking place there. The fact that the mayor formed the so-called bomb squad, led by Snooky Zikalala in order to manage this turnaround situation. So they concede that there are serious problems in Johannesburg. But I think what the DA didn't manage is, and it is because they simply don't have the votes. They have 20 seats less than the ANC in the chamber, and that gap is so big that it cannot be breached. So I think it was therefore confirmation for the ANC for now about where they stand in the council. And it is at the same time a confirmation that the DA is to some extent quite a distance behind the ANC and its support base, its other allies.
Now, Prof, it's no secret that the city of Johannesburg is falling apart. I mean, traffic lights are not working, street lights are not working. There's, massive infrastructure fails. Like, the city is literally falling apart. But just how credible, then, is Dada Morero's assertion that the no-confidence motion was politically opportunistic rather than substantive?
Well, I think what we've seen is that all the party members, all the council members voted according to their party positions. So it was not really a vote in terms of substantive matters, that they made the judgment of what is the quality of government at the moment.
Right.
They simply voted as a bloc in terms of each position of each of the political parties. So it was more about a political statement that were made by the different political parties, and not so much an objective evaluation of where Johannesburg stands at the moment.
Now, Action SA's Nobuhle Mthembu was also voted out decisively. I mean, what does this say about Action SA's coalition building capacity and its future prospects in Johannesburg politics?
Well, I think they will have to restore the confidence them now very much. It's a huge task for them. They've done the same in Tshwane in the past. They've done it in other contexts also. They even tried, it was very close to it in terms of the budget negotiations at national level. So I think the problem with Action SA is that it's developing a public perception as a party that you cannot trust. You have to watch your back all the time when Action SA is around. And that will be very difficult for them in future in order to negotiate other coalition agreements or to be part of those agreements, because there's a trust deficit that exists with respect to them.
Now, should we view Nobuhle Mthembu's ouster as, the same way as we viewed, as you said, a political statement against, Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero? I mean, how do you interpret the significant margin, 212 votes against Speaker Mthembu? Do you think it was a strategic vote or simply a reflection of broader dissatisfaction?
Well, I think this brings the DA Action SA relationship into play. But the big difference between the results of the mayor and that of the speaker is the fact that the DA voted together with the ANC in that vote. So they all converged, they all united against Action SA. Action SA was the only party that voted in trying to protect the speaker, and they obviously failed in that. So that was one incident where the DA's problems with Action SA actually motivated them to vote together with the ANC.
And broadly speaking, Prof, what does this outcome reveal about the volatility of coalition politics in Johannesburg?
Yes, I think it is a reflection of that since 2016 actually, but specifically since 2022, and that's now 4 years ago with the last local government election, we have already seen 6 mayors in Johannesburg.
Yes.
2 of the ANC, 2 of the DA, and 2 of Al Jamal. So it's an indication of the short terms, the short survival periods of the mayors in Johannesburg, which is different from, for example, Tshwane or Mogale City or even Ekurhuleni to some extent.
All right, Prof, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for sharing your analysis with us. And I suppose these are just some of the signs that, analysts like yourselves and the public should watch out for in the coming weeks to really understand, where political momentum is shifting. Great chatting to you again. Thank you. That was Professor Dirk Kotzé regarding the city of Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero surviving the motion of no confidence and the ouster of Speaker Nobuhle Mthembu.